This is where all the magic happens.
The best thing you can do is get vaccinated.
Are rangatai at more risk of getting COVID-19? Today on the COVID Corridor, Pare shows us around the Waipareira Trust Stadium's vaccination centre. We find out how rangatai can help in the fight against COVID, and my cousin Judah gives us some tips for staying safe during lockdown. Kare te whānau, ko Scarlett Manai tara mākatu mōku pātia tōku ingoa. And this is the COVID Corridor, where we talk about all things COVID. And first up, we meet Pare from Te Whānau or Waipareira. And she's a part of the essential workforce bubble. And she's going to show us around.
Kia te pēhea koe. Kia te pai ahau, kia te pēhea koe. This is one of our guardmans.
Kia ora.
Yep. Kia ora, kia ora. Kia ora, kia ora. Maria ora te whānau, my name is Pare and we're here at the Trust Arena with Te Whānau Waipareira and Hawhai. Here we're doing our vaccinations for COVID. These are our entry doors. And usually we have a queue out these ways. We have our heat people up here. Kia ora, kia ora. These are one of our kaimahi over here. She works for Hawhai. Sometimes jumps on the mic. We also have our Māori wardens walking through. So they direct our traffic with traffic control, make sure that everything's okay, everything's in order. Just over here we have our reception. This is where we enter all the information, make sure that everyone's okay before the vaccinations. And then after this, we go through to the actual vaccination area. This is where all the magic happens. So when we walk through, we see this big area. This is usually where the sporting happens. This is the actual Trust Arena. This is what it looks like from the inside. And here we have our vaccination area. So this is, each lane has one vaccinator, one admin. And what we do, we ensure that all your information is in our system, gets through to your GP. And at the top here, we've got one of our vaccinators who just come through. This is my best friend Abby, this is our vaccinator. How are we going?
Hey, good, all good. Where do we start? We've got some nice plasters here, we've got some little swabs here, but the main thing, this is where it all happens. This is the vaccine itself, okay? Really special thing to have and easy to do, and yeah. We have no complaints today. Everyone's been pretty happy about it. Yeah.
But yes, so after our vaccination, we go through the observation, which is this area over here. And this is our waiting area. You're here for 15 minutes just to make sure that we can keep you safe. If you have any problems or you feel as if you're having an allergic reaction, we keep you seated here. And then when you're ready, we let you go. Bye-bye. So this is us. This is Te Whānau Waipareira, making sure our community is safe.
Ngā mihi Pare! And on that note, we have some pretty awesome rangatai here in Aotearoa. But did you know that our young people are more likely to spread COVID-19 if they got infected? And for more on that, I'm about to speak to Dr. Maia Brewerton. Kia ora, Maia!
Kia ora, Scarlett.
Firstly, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Ai, no Ngāti Parau, no Ngāti Kahunga no hoki. E mihi ana ki a koe. My name's Maia Brewerton and I'm a specialist doctor at Auckland Hospital. And I specialise in the immune system. So I look after patients where their immune system is either weak and so they can't protect themselves, or their immune system's got a bit too active and we have to try and just get that balance back for them. So that's my job.
Oh, cool. How long does it take to become a specialist doctor?
Cool. Okay. Well, I went to university for 6 years. I did a few years as a junior doctor And then I decided that I wanted to be a hospital specialist, which means you have to sit some exams. And then after that, I decided I really loved the immune system. So I was going to focus on that. And so from the time of leaving school to being able to call myself an immunologist took me 12 years all told.
Oh, that's my whole life. What do you know about COVID-19? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, lots of people have heard about COVID-19. So this virus cropped up back in the end of 2019, and before that it was only found in animals. But it found its way into people, and it's a tricky little virus. It's got these little spikes on the surface, and it uses those spikes to stick onto our cells, and then it gets in and infects our cells. Unfortunately, turned out that it's not just a virus that gets into our cells, but it's a virus that makes people really sick, and it's killed a lot of people around the world. So we're doing everything we can to try and stop that happening here in Aotearoa.
And Delta?
All the time, this virus is changing, but when it gets into a person, it changes and it gets these things called mutations, which mean that it's a bit different to its former self. And these mutations can sometimes mean, and in the case of Delta, mean that the virus is even more dangerous for us. So for Delta, it's got a mutation on one of those little spikes that I talked about, and it makes it even stickier. So it's even better at sticking on our cells. And so it is even more infectious, which means it can spread more easily through people. And so it's that's made Delta, I guess, one of the types of the COVID virus that's been really dangerous for people because it spreads so easily.
Are rangatahi at more risk of getting COVID-19?
Our rangatahi are at risk, but being young means that you're a bit stronger, hey? So less likely to die or go to hospital if you're nice and young, but you can still get really sick. Not as common, but you can still get sick when you're young. The other reason our rangatahi are really important is because you guys have lots of friends, you go to school, play sports, get out and about, whereas the old people like me just stay at home. So if you get the virus, it means it can spread more quickly in our rangatahi than in older people like me. So it's really important that our rangatahi can protect their households and their whānau too, because it's more likely to spread through them just because they've got more friends.
So what's the best thing we can all do?
The best thing you can do is get vaccinated. And if you are sick or you've got any symptoms like a runny nose, the first thing to ask yourself is, this could be COVID, I better get a test. So those are the two things that are really, really important. And I think if you are sick, then it's really important that you don't go to school, or for older people like me, that we don't go to work. Because back in the day, we just keep trying to truck on, but we don't want people to do that anymore. So number 1 is get vaccinated. Number 2 is get tested. And number 3, stay home if you're sick.
Awesome, thank you, Maia. We'll catch up with you again soon. Wale te whānau, I hope you got some good info from that kōrero. Now it's time for my cousin Judah, who's giving us some tips on staying safe during lockdown.
Oh, lockdown, alright, eh? Things to remember during lockdown. Tuatahi, this, maruha, mask, kia pēnei. Make sure you wear one. Tuarua, 2 tirara, social distancing. 2 meters away, please. Make sure you're 2 meters away from people that ain't in your rahui or bubble. But she's part of my bubble. But she's just a demonstration. Move. That's a good distance. Toa toru. Make sure only one person's going to the toa hokomaha. Don't forget your maruha. Remember, you don't need your whole whānau with you, okay? Only one person. Hariatu. Tofa, horoia o ringa ringa. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Or the more the merrier. Ka pia ia e tau arua. Tuarima, Whitiki Taua. We're on! That's us!
Thanks, Judah. Well, that's all from us today. But if you want some more information on anything COVID, go to www.covid19.govt.nz. Thanks for watching. Hei kona! This program was proudly supported by the 4 Northern Regions DHBs.